Good day, guys. Welcome. You're live with Janetta. I'm in the studio here in the community of Rio Abajo. I have someone who's going to share her history, our history, because this is the month, people. This is the month that we should talk about our contribution to the Panama Canal. And so I have my dear sister who's going to share some information. We're just going to converse and, let you guys get a little bit of our history, as well as, again, this platform is also for you to share your history or whatever information you have. Okay, so what am I thinking so early this morning? Well, it's not too early in certain areas in the world, but in certain areas it is. Right now is about 8 o'clock in Panama. And so welcome to What Am I Thinking so early this morning. Good morning. You're live with Janetta. What's on my mind so early this morning? You want to find out? Well, stick around. Hey, Stephanie, ¿cómo estás? She's in New York.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi, how are you? How's everyone out there in this live, wonderful experience and good vibe moment?
Good vibe moment. I hear you. I hear you. We have to talk. And I said, as I was thinking about what to say this morning, it dawned on me. I says, wait a minute. We're celebrating the Panama Canal, Panama, and the whole thing. And as you know, we have to continue to preserve history. So let's have a little conversation shortly about why it's so important to preserve our history here in Panama. As you know, other cultures are doing it. So I think, we know, right, that the Caribbean people had a lot to do with completing the Panama Canal. So what is your history, Stephanie? What do you want to share from your perspective with the Panama Canal celebration this month?
Well, yeah, that's a good point, perspective, because we all have a history, and reflecting on our ancestors, parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, cousins, friends. That's history in itself. And it's just the recollection and this month that it means, more in Panama, celebrating it, and also around the world. And my fondest and most beautiful memory of all of that is like what my sister mentioned earlier, my great grandfather, and what he did when he migrated, from Barbados and came to Panama. My biggest recollection, right where my sister has her studio in Calle 13 Rio Abajo, I remember he lived on the upper level of the house, and I would climb up those steps. I don't know, it was a lot, but it's like going to the mountaintop. And my mom told me 2 years old, I think I was like almost 2. And when I reached to the top where he, in his apartment, I went into his bedroom. And I said, grandfather. And he was elated because it was such a big word. And he noticed that it took, grandfather, and said it not just, he understood every letter that came out of my mouth. So till this day, I remember that. And that says a lot because his energy, his aura, his spirit, and what he built, the seed that he built on Calle 13 Rio Abajo land, with the vision of one day this would happen. And that's exactly what my sister's doing. So for now, I'm going to pass the baton back again to her. But it gives me chills because when you plant your seed for generations to come with a good heart, it does manifest and it does grow into this beautiful flower, just letting it be. And that's what it's all about. Everybody, his whole thing, and others that were with him also in building the canal and celebrating this month, is a lot, but it is a lot more to see. It takes us to really carry just having conversations. you know
Mm-hmm.
we may not have the strength and the whole way they did it, but the conversation, that's what's keeping everything alive. Is watering that plant, still putting in water, still doing it. So my sister, you take it away.
I like what you said. You got to keep watering that plant. You got to keep the history alive through many ways. As you know, there are people that are doing so many wonderful things during this month. And as you look at the calendars and Google it, you see all these events that's happening around Panama, celebrating our history. And um, and so I want to thank those people as well, those group of people that are every year. They always make sure that the history is being told in so many different ways through music, right? But I want to today, since I have my sister here, and thank you, Stephanie, for saying so many wonderful words and inspiring words for people to hear that we're not only family, and in family, family's family. You know what I mean? Family. We're normal family, normal dynamics. We always have my mom can we put into it, and we're mature to know and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna still do it, or we're gonna still do it. So I want that example of joining together for something so important like preserving history, like the outreach program that my sister, my mom started with me, and continue to do so in many ways. Of course, everybody have their own obligations, but I want to say this, and I'm saying this to the community. We might not see eye to eye. We might come from different perspectives. We might have many struggles. We might feel uncomfortable. We might be in this turmoil. We might be confused or whatever. But please remember, we have to come together to preserve our history. We need to come together to preserve our history. Leave your differences aside. Leave your differences aside. Take this month and get to know your family roots, whether it's Jamaican, whether it's another island in the Caribbean, whether it's Barbados. In our case, we're focusing on Barbados. Get to know your roots and gather pictures, gather memories, put it in a folder, put it in video, put it in AI. I mean, in many forms, you could save those things, because there'll become a day where it could be erased, right? As you know, Stephanie, could be erased. It
Correct.
could be buried. It could be neglected. We have to teach the next generation how to preserve this wonderful and beautiful history. I mean, Stephanie, as you know, the hardworking men and women from the Caribbean came here and established this as their new world, their new
Correct.
world. And that's why we were born here in Panama. But our roots, Stephanie, is from Africa and from the Caribbean. And that
Yes.
needs to be told.
Mhm.
So, and I said, Stephanie, let's do this. Let's come on. Let's share what am I thinking this morning. And it's just that the message is, and let me show you a picture of my great grandfather and my grandmother, Avenel Ward. She's in the middle center, and her mother um, is Agatha Estelle. She's above her, and her uncle from Missouri, Mr. I think it's Wilson, right, Stephanie, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And
I
so,
believe so.
yes, yeah, we have that written. I mean, so much rich history that we have preserved in our family. And so we have pictures. And I invite you guys by schedule, people, because I'm not open every day. Come and see what I'm doing. It's open. I'm open. Come and see. Come and see the setup. Come and see my vision. It's not complete. Nothing is perfect, but see the images on the wall. I every day I'm celebrating our history, the contribution that men and women have done in Panama and continue to do so. Right? Continue to
Correct.
do so. So, Stephanie, tell me. Let's briefly, because this is a short, live streaming. Briefly tell me about your experience. You know, we growing up in between Panama and the Canal Zone. I mean, we used to live in Panama and then go to the Canal Zone for certain things,
For
whether it's
school.
for school, whether for whatever. Tell me a little bit of your experience traveling to the Canal Zone and hanging out in the Canal Zone for obvious reasons, school.
Yes, yeah, and that's a beautiful thing, and it is like mind-boggling because you said, okay, yeah, you live one side and then you take the school bus and you over on the Canal Zone. So it's like the best of both worlds. I always tell people that I grew up in the best place in the world, Central America, Panama, and experienced English and Spanish, everything simultaneously. So what else could I've asked for? A good upbringing. And seeing that, yes, the difference, of course, from the education of the part of the way they teach, the way, we
Uh-huh.
were taught in school versus the way, they teach on the American side. But it was always, to me, growing up in Panama and seeing all of that, and of course, we meet people from all over the world, not only like the Panama side with the Spanish, but you're going to Canal Zone and you see the whites, the blacks, the West Indies going to the school, even the
Right.
professors, everybody is really, it wasn't like one thing. So we all come together in that aspect. And just being there, you say, wow, this is beautiful. This is what, being on the Canal Zone, you see how they really take care and preserve, like from landscaping, the
Right.
canal area, even the homes where they live, like everything was always, and intact, for you to see, like, okay, we came, we built it. This is, like my sister mentioned a couple of seconds ago, the new world. and
Right.
and that's what you feel and you see. If you're gonna be situated any part of the world, anywhere, or even locally, and you make that your dome, your world, people, and with the good intention, people gravitate and they see it. Sometimes you don't even have to travel that far. You have it
Right.
in your community. Case in point, like my sister have. If you want to relive and you want to backtrack a little bit and know
Mm-hmm.
really the history, because even when I was there, I didn't know that road was called the Cirillo. What it? Sorry, the by
Cirilo
13th
McSween.
Street.
You're right. Cirilo McSween
I,
Avenue.
I mean, see, I didn't know that. My sister, like I said, this, you don't have to have a big museum, big place in the area. No, the little, the little engine that could is the little engine that keeps going, and
Exactly.
it keeps growing. Right. It's not like, oh, well, no, I didn't know that a lot of names and things. I'm looking at the wall and looking at the pictures that she had. Yeah, a lot of
Right.
individuals I'm familiar with, but the naming of the street, and
Oh,
those are the things
yes.
that even little by little, even here in the US, they're trying to erase, because every time, they want to rename and erase and whatever. But who were the pioneers? Who were the first one? Again, I never knew that until I went to 13th Street and I said, the what? What? So
Right.
that in itself, I've tried to put everything in a nutshell to make sense. And perhaps my
Right.
sister now, again, I'm going to hand it
Throw
over to her
the
to
ball.
kind of, yeah, throw the
The
ball.
ball in my court. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but you brought up a very interesting point, which is something that I've discussed with Ricardo Richards. Is that, and he mentioned it to me. I did not know it was happening. They're erasing the streets that were named after um, Caribbean uh, pioneers and countries like Jamaica and Trinidad, and other streets names, they are being erased. And what are we doing about it? Well, we are busy doing other stuff. Okay, we are busy doing other stuff. Can we do something about it? But about it, certainly we could do something about it. Do we want to do something about it? We should. We should. Um, are there any group of people doing something about it? I don't know. I don't know, but I know the streets names are being erased. So before, this avenue here was Amical Cabral, and they changed it to Cyril Maxwell. I think that naming the streets after um, heroes, Afro-Caribbean heroes, name it after people that impacted the history in Panama, I think that's a great thing. Again, just like any other group of people, we want our history to be known and preserve it. And so I thought that this live streaming right now, my podcast, Panama Mule Live with Janetta, in the version of what am I thinking this morning? And that's what I'm thinking this morning. I'm so happy that Stephanie joined me. Um, our experience going to the Canal Zone was wonderful, right? We go to the Gargis Hospital, we go to the clubhouse, we go to the commissary, we go
I'm
to the
sorry.
parks, we go to Gamboa, we go to Clayton, we go to all these Howard, all these wonderful uh, places on the Canal Zone that were well kept, and we had a wonderful time in the 60s and the 70s. Prior to that, well, my mother would have to tell you. She has a different story. They were
Yeah.
sort of segregation as well, and things were not that uh, when we're talking about unifying culture. It wasn't that much of a uh, harmony, as we see it now, where everybody's just one, everybody contributing to Panama. You see people from other countries coming to Panama, and that's the point that I'm trying to make. Other people are coming to Panama, but they don't know our history. They don't know why blacks are here. Blacks came here through different reasons, okay? Different eras, different epoca, so to speak. So they came, and they established their history. They have history here. So it's very important to celebrate that. But now we're talking there specifically about the Panama Canal, right? The Panama Canal. My great grandfather came in the 19 during the construction, okay, and then he left and came back. He worked on Miraflores locks. Then he works for the administration building, among the
Correct.
first Afro-Caribbean men that worked for the records section, filing records section. And he built a house, a wooden house here in the community of Rio Bajo, right at the corner of Cyril Maxwell Avenue and 13th Street. And it had 4 apartments. He lived in one, he rented 2, and we live in the other one. And we had mango trees, Stephanie, remember? Mango trees,
Yes. We had, was it two?
mandolin,
I think we had
plums.
two.
We had 2 or 3. I think we had about
Yeah.
three
Yeah.
different
Yeah. Yeah.
types
Yeah.
of mango, by the way. There are
Correct.
3 different types of mangoes. And I remember the fence was like with plums, and I remember the old-fashioned radio. Remember, we used to
Yes.
listen to
Yes.
stories on the radio. At
Radio.
that time, it was uh, SEN.
Uh-huh.
The first that I could remember, I mean, people are talking about it, first cable network in Panama was
Yes.
SEN, Southern Command Network. Okay. And then I remember growing up in a wooden house, and we had Venetian windows. Remember the Venetian
Yes.
windows?
The Venetian.
Auto,
Oh,
yeah.
and one thing, I think the brand, was it the brand for the TV was Nivico?
Oh,
That
you
was a
you go
brand.
for it. I can't even remember.
Yes.
But I'm so
Yeah, Nivico, that was the brand. No,
wow.
yeah. Nivico. So all of those little things is like, wow. And we had the the peepah tree in the back, but the one we had, it was the yellow looking peepah.
Oh,
It
the
wasn't
coconut.
the coconut. Yeah, it wasn't the green
Wow.
that people see. The one it was the yellow one. The one that it
Right.
so that in itself, I don't even know if I see those anymore. But anyway, we had it on the property, and that's what I'm saying. Planting the good seed that we grew up
Right.
knowing that there are two and there are three type. It was the papaya mango was a big one. It was
Right.
the hairy mango, and I think the regular one. Because yes, all of those things again, it's more than one type of mango. So yeah, that's yep,
And we
beautiful.
used to see these little animals in the ground, and I mean, we used to see all kind of little animals and butterflies, and it was. I think my mom said at one point, this is when we were younger, we had a goat as well. But all this area was just land, land,
Land.
land, not many houses, dirt road. Everybody knew each other. When you walk down the street, you smell the baking or cooking. Coffee in the morning, you smell coffee in the morning, you smell somebody walking with a heavy perfume or cologne. I mean,
Yes,
you hear the rooster, in the morning. When it rained, everybody's cozy. I mean, it was warmth. It was warmth. It was really like living in the Caribbean. I mean, we used to go
yes,
outside in the yard. We had land. So, Stephanie, coming back to now, to the present time, I see when people say, you have it good and you don't know it. You have
correct,
it good and you don't know it. And my great grandfather, imagine this, traveling across the ocean to come to another country and start a whole new world, according to from his perspective. Start a whole new world. Imagine that happening now, that people are doing it now from other countries, moving to Panama. Let's focus on Panama. They're moving from the United States to Panama to start a whole new world, a whole new life, a whole new way of living. Okay, because they have to adjust to the language, which the Caribbean men and women had to do that when they got to Panama. They had to learn Spanish, they had to learn whatever culture there was and still exists. The indigenous people, the mixture with Spanish and indigenous culture. Okay, we have a lot of people who wrote books about that, experiencing the indigenous people language and making a dictionary with that translation stuff going on. I mean, my great grandfather was a pioneer, he was a trailblazer. He
correct.
paved the way, he left things for us to enjoy. He left the land and he says, no family of mine is going to be out on the streets. And I'm telling you, he had a brilliant mind. And so the only thing for us to do, Stephanie, is you are doing it, my mom is doing it, is to honor his name, honor his hardworking vision that this land will be here for us to enjoy. And he should be proud because I haven't left it. I haven't left it. My mom was, before I came, my mom was taking care of it. She was cleaning it. She
Correct.
never put a fence around it, but I came and I says, I don't even know why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, but it's just something, I guess, like an unspoken word or spiritual or something guiding me to say, hey, you have this, use it. Those will follow you, those will come, those will see what you're doing. And as you know, I'm a person that I might get upset with you now, but I'm always willing, open to hear what you have to say. I'm always willing to make peace. I find myself doing that a lot for a reason, and I don't know why. But deep down, I want this to work and I want this to prosper. But imagine, Stephanie, imagine our great grandfather came from another country, Barbados, wonderful island of Barbados. And guess, guys, follow me. Please follow me. I have a surprise for you next month. So follow me, my journey in search of Janetta. So anyway, so Hey, remember, Stephanie, if you want to know who you are, you got to go to the roots of the where it's all started. Okay?
Yeah.
Hint, hint, where it all started. Hint, hint. Okay, so
Hmm.
my great grandfather came from Barbados, and he left this. My mom took care of it with with my grandmother, and and so here we are today. And it says a lot about my great grandfather, his vision to build a four-story, I mean, sorry, a two-story wooden house with four apartments, rented to, land for us to enjoy, running all over the place. We were running all over the place, looking at little animals and stuff like that. And I never climbed a mango tree. I never did. I was always scared.
Yeah. Me either.
So, so concluding, Stephanie, what message would you like to send in the whole celebration of the canal?
Well, the message is not only, I always say this, yeah, it's good that we acknowledge it even more so the month off, but as we know, it should be celebrated and honored every day as a reminder. Because, the way life is, sometimes we leave things like, okay, this date for this, that date for that. Yes, everything has a date. That's a given. Okay. But
Mhm.
as much as we can, and let's say this month, oh my gosh, you kind of like, you were also caught up in whatever. Create your own month, create your own week. You might say, you know what, in the week of, I'm still gonna acknowledge, even though there was a month of celebration by the parties and buying tickets for dance, that's beautiful. But I'm gonna do something a little different now. I'm going to take it upon myself, celebrating the week of perhaps my ancestors or celebrating the week of my neighbors that are also pioneers. And it could be any month of the year. It could be November, this February, whenever. Just take that one moment. Or you're going to do a 3-day celebration acknowledging. But that's how you keep things alive. When people don't expect for you to bring it up, you bring it up and you're like, oh, what? Yeah. Wasn't that November? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. We're still here. That wasn't in January they celebrated. Oh, it doesn't matter. We're still here. So we do it as much as we can. Kind of like take a lead and don't really wait, because if you're going to wait 8 months out of the year for this, what happened to the months prior? What were we doing? I'm quite sure you were doing something, but
Right.
just that's just like my thing. So every opportunity you get, other than conversation, see somebody in the street, oh yeah, I'm from Panama, because I meet a lot of people here in the state. I'm from Panama, and they said, my background is this, and I said, yeah, but it's good, and
Right.
we all from there. So they're like, oh yeah, oh wow, I didn't know. Well, yes, exactly. That's my point. 2-minute
Yes.
conversation, you can pretty much tell the person you can kind of like tell their background quick, and just a little bit, just little nitbit, you don't have to be,
Hmm.
like I said, conversation, like my sister said, with anyone. You could sit at a bench and strike up a nice conversation. And they even
Right.
have people also, we look at others from Central America, Costa Rica, Honduras, Nicaragua. They are blacks
Hmm.
also. I don't recall really asking them like their ancestors. I have no clue. But we all came
Yeah.
from somewhere. So even if you cross paths with them, that would be interesting also to say, oh, you from, let me see what we can share. Because we are more in common than we think we are.
That we aren't. Yeah. Yeah. We
By
we are.
far.
We have a lot. We have a lot in common because
Yes, by far.
migration and moving
Right.
from one country to the next. And as they say, historians, not me, I'm not saying this, say that we
Yeah.
come from the same place, the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
point, and that's part in Africa.
Yeah. So
But
that's my
yeah,
little,
that that is your message.
my
Um,
bestie.
and also, like you were saying, that is celebration is not one day or one month. It's all the time you honor and you continue what has been established. You take care of what has been established. Like the cemetery goes out Corazal Gatu and Mount Hope needs to be preserved. So I congratulate Francis, who has done a great job in doing so. The CGM Foundation has done a great job in preserving and also educating people about our contribution of the Panama Canal. I have done so as well as we doing here
Yes.
with my. Let me put up the picture again with my great grandfather, the one on your left, I believe. He has the one standing, and my great grandmother, Abina Ward, great organist in the Canal Zone time when she was alive. And I just want to let you guys know that these are the things that um, we inherited. We inherited good people, hardworking people who had a vision. And that's a lie when they say Black people are lazy. There's no way I will entertain that, Stephanie. So this shows hardworking people, dedicated. My great grandfather had a lot of books. He had a lot of he spoke well. He was always decent. I mean, that's the way. I mean, if my great grandfather built something, purchased land, everything that he thought of, he did it. That should say a lot about his person.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to leave you with that, and also I want to thank my sister again for being with the children. I have pictures of her being with the children. There she's standing, interacting with the children in the orange shirt. When she was here, I want to thank her for all her sacrifices, is because it's not easy. It's not easy doing all that stuff for the children. And she will call in once in a while and say hello to them. So I want to thank her for that. So that's a way, as you see what we're doing. That's a way of continuing celebrating our culture, because the pictures are on the wall. So I tell the children once in a while, who the people are in those in the picture frame. So Stephanie, thank you so much for joining me today. I really had
You're
fun
welcome.
talking a little bit, just a little bit, right, about our
Yeah,
history.
yeah, yeah.
So
I'm never I'm never too busy for a good conversation. I said, let me do something real quick. I'll join you and then I'll go back. So this was perfect timing.
perfect timing. I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, that's what I was thinking this morning. That the canal. Tell your history, people. Tell your history. However you want to tell it, tell it. I've seen a lot of people telling their history on YouTube, on Facebook, about where they were born um, in Gargas Hospital, behind the Gargas Hospital, the Children's Hospital. I've seen
Uh-huh.
people talk about the streets that they used to live in. I mean, I see all these things, and it's wonderful, wonderful. As long as we keep it alive, that is good. No one, Stephanie, no one can take this away from us.
Of
Our
course.
roots our roots are strong. So when it comes to that, no one can take that away from us. No one could change our history. Nobody can tell our history but us.
Right.
So I leave you
Yes.
guys with that. No one else can tell our history but us. So thank you. Bye bye, guys. See you guys
Bye.
perhaps another time when I thought of something that I want to share with you. So bye
As
bye,
always,
Stephanie.
there's always something good.
It's always something. People know that it's always something to think of. Like, I thought about it, but let's talk about it. All
Right,
right.
right,
So
right.
enjoy your day in Brooklyn, New York. And I know it's
Yeah,
sunny out there, huh? Is it sunny
it's
like it
gonna
is
be
over here?
very hot, and I think it's approaching now 80, and it's not even 10 o'clock, but we gotta be close to like the three digits again,
Right.
and nice and toasty.
Nice and toasty.
Nice and
Over here, let me tell you, it's all over the news. There was a storm yesterday and the day before yesterday. Trees on the ground. I mean, it was terrible. It was terrible. So
yeah,
they're picking up the pieces today, and
yeah,
certain areas you might see streets are blocked But it was
Yeah.
really strong yesterday and day before yesterday. But today's sunny, as you can see. So
Yeah.
83 degrees
Uh-huh.
in a lovely Panama City. So I'm going to take a walk in the park and then I'll catch up
Yes.
with you later. Thank you so
Está bien.
much. Bye
You're
bye.
welcome.
Thank you guys
Ciao.
for
Bye.
watching. Bye. Thank you for listening. Enjoy this wonderful day.